Hello guys, welcome back to Future Dimensions 360. As you know, in our last tutorial, we had learned about the basic commands of Git and we had learned about how to install Git in our PCs. Either it will be a Mac, Linux or Windows. Currently, Git is available for Mac, Linux or Windows only. In today's tutorial, we will be learning another command for Git that is known as file comparison command. How we can compare the file in different areas or different stages of Git. So that is known as actually diff command. We will be learning git diff command now. Let's go ahead and try to learn in detail and discuss in detail about git diff command. What is git diff command? Git diff command is the command that will allow you to check the differences between the files available between different phases in the Git cycle or Git architecture or Git workflow. What is the workflow of Git or architecture of Git? First of all, we are having a working directory where we are putting our code or where all the files that we are in which we are writing a code are available there. Secondly, we are having a staging or index area that keep tracks of changes or changed files. Thirdly, we are having a local repository in each machine that will keep a copy of repository inside the machine and responsible for having any kind of changes or anything, or you can say any conflicts resolver or any branches related to that developer that is responsible for that. Lastly, we are having a remote repository that contains the complete full-fledged code and all the software and each branch, and it's available over the network. So in today's tutorial, we will be learning actually the differences. What will be the differences? The differences in the files of working directory and staging directory. The differences in the files of staging and local directory or local repository. The differences between the local repository and the remote repository. After that, we will be seeing the differences between the working directory and the local repository. And we will be seeing the differences between the working directory and the remote repository. And lastly, we will have to find out the differences between the staging and the remote directory or remote repository. How we can find out or figure out all these differences? Let's go ahead and try to learn those. Let's say I have a working directory. Let's create a working directory. I will open up my terminal. Okay, I will go to my desktop. Let's say in the desktop, let's say ls, I have a git folder available already here. So let's go inside git folder. cd means change directory and clear, and we are inside the git folder already. So this is our working directory. For the meantime and for your evaluation or for learning purpose, today I will be creating a file called vim index.txt. I'll create a file named as index.txt. Okay, so this is our working directory now. Let me create it an empty file. That's it, ls, and I have an empty file available inside my working directory. So next we are having a staging area. How we will create staging area, and we are having a local repository. As I told you before in last tutorial, for creation of staging area and local repository, we have to do just one thing that is named as git init. You have to just create or initializing an empty directory inside the folder by using git init command. It will create a complete workflow for the Git automatically inside your project or working directory that contains staging area, a local repository, and a connection between local and to remote repository. The connection for sure will be added by using remote URL that we will let you know later on. Let's focus in this right away now. So we are having now three things available inside our Git folder already. That is a local repository that contains one file named as index.txt. Then we had initialized an empty git repo that contains staging area and a local repository for our project. So let's say I will add a text dev a inside my index.js file. Let's say vim index.js, index.txt, sorry, and I will add file dev a. I had added this text inside my first file. Okay, let's move forward, and we have to pass this text to staging. How we can pass that? As we had learned in our last tutorial, we will follow the same process. Git add and then index.txt. We will use this file to add this file inside the indexed or staging area. But you can write dot also, and you can write minus all as well. It's up to you, whatever the command you want to use, but I prefer to use dot only. So now, as soon as I will add the command inside my terminal sudo add dot, what will happen? This dev a will move to staging area already. So if I will check the status, sudo git status, so you can say like on master branch changes to be committed, git, like you can say there is nothing to be compared. If I will check the status between the working directory and the staging indexed. So let's say I will put dev b inside index.js file, sudo, no need to use sudo, git vim, and I will say index.txt, sorry, vim index.txt. We are not using git anymore because we are not working with git. We are just going to add a new line of code, that is dev b. Okay, as soon as you will add dev b inside the file, let me show you again. vim.txt, see, we have two lines of code inside our file index.txt now. So now what we have to do next, we have to get the difference between our working directory and the staging area. How we can get that? We can get that by passing this command git difference and the file name git diff, and our file name is index.txt. Okay, as soon as I will enter, you will see, let me clear it one more time and add this command again. So you guys can see like I had got some sort of results under git diff index.txt. So just let's say this difference minus git is showing the difference between the source. This is identifying the source. A slash index.txt is the one that will let you know the the source, and b slash index.txt is the destination. Then it will tell you that we are comparing an index file inside the folders. This will show you the hash of source and hash of destination. Lastly, this will show you that what is the operation to be performed, read, write, and all that stuff. Just neglect this 10644. We are not going into the exact operation codes, so let's neglect those. But just for your information, this line is the one that will show you the destination and source information, hash, and the encryption or overriding or read and write codes for that. Minus will tell you that there is some files missing inside the source. What is our source? Our source is staging. So there is some line of code that is missing inside the source. Plus b.txt is saying from the destination there is some code that is added already in the file. So which is our destination? That is our working directory. Inside our working directory, we had added a developer b, another line that is until now not available inside our staging or index. So minus means something is missing, plus means something is added. If we check under this, we can say dev a is same in both files, but dev b is available inside your destination but not available in your source now. So if I will check here down, dev b is available inside my working directory, but it's not available inside my staging area. This is how you can get the difference between the staging and the working directory. Okay, let's move forward. Let's try to add the same dev a that is available inside my staging to the commit area. So how can I do that? I have to do git commit, like we had added in the index already by using git add dot file, get dot command, and now we have to pass the same file towards the commit. How we can do that? Git commit -m. I will keep the name same as my text that I have added in the file dev a. As soon as I will enter git commit -m is saying permission is denied. Let me add sudo as well so we can work normally fine. I'll put my password as well. So you guys can see 3 files change, 1 insertion, 15 deletion is showing. So we are having like index.txt, index.html and server.js file already before from the last tutorial we had created. So those are removed. Actually, I had removed those before starting this tutorial. So let's neglect those. Just focus on our create mode, that is index.txt. So we had created a new file inside our local repository that is available inside our folder. So now we had one commit inside our local repository that contains dev a. There are few commits already available from before, just neglect those. Let's keep it in mind that we had committed one commit right away with comment dev a, and that is available in our local repository by now. Let's move forward and try to add another line of code in our working directory. How we can add that? Vim index.txt, and I will add just another line of code dev c. Let me save it. So I had added another line of code inside it. So let's move forward and try to pass the same code or same file inside our staging area. How we can do that? We have to do sudo git add dot. So it will allow me to pass all the files that is available inside my working directory towards my staging area. So after this, if I want to check the difference between the working directory and the local repository, the working directory and the local repository, how can I do that? There is one terminology need to be reminded here, is that is known as head. Head always represent the latest commit inside the repository. Whenever you will use head, that means you are going to point the latest commit that you have done, or you are getting the head is actually containing the reference of the latest commit. So let's check the difference between the working directory and the local repository. Now we can do that is we have to pass command git diff again, and this time we have to add head inside it, head and then index.txt. As soon as I will hit enter, these files same as it is, source destination and then source hash, destination hash, and then encryption technique, and it's saying there are few lines of code missing inside your source, that is local repository, and few lines of code you had added inside your local repository already, and that is what? That is dev b and dev c. As you know, I had committed few moments back in my local repository, and that time we have only one line of code in my staging, that is dev a. So we had passed that code to our local repository. At a movement or at this time, only dev a is available inside my local repository, but the changes I have done in my workspace or in my local repository after my commit or after dev a commit are not available inside my commit. Git has indicated that by plus, and that is dev b and dev c with green color. Ultimately, if there is some line that is removed from the code in the local machine and that is available from the working directory and that is available in local repository, it will be appeared as minus and then in red color something, whatever the code is there. If it's appearing with normal white color or any theme color of your PC with normal space, that means there is no change in that line. Let's move forward and try to check the difference between the staging and the local repository. How you can do that? You can do that by adding just one thing. Let me clear it. You can do that by adding git diff and just one flag you have to add minus minus or hyphen hyphen staged and then head and then file name is index.txt. As soon as I will hit enter, this will show me the difference between the staging area and the local repository. The difference is exactly the same between the staging area and the local repository as I had passed like sudo git add dot already two commands before. So our staging is exactly same our working directory. If I will check it, sudo git diff index.txt, so it's not showing anything. That's mean I don't have any changes or anything or any difference available inside my local repository and the staging area. So if I will check the difference between staging area and the local repository, that is actually two lines of code are missing, that is dev p and dev c. Let's check another command. So that is git diff and minus minus and cached head, and that is my index.txt. So this is another way to check the difference between the indexed and the local repository. We are seeing the same differences that in my local, in my indexed, there is three lines of code available, that is dev A, dev B and dev C, but inside my local repository I have only dev A available there. Let's move forward and try to add all the lines of code inside my local repository by adding git commit, and I will say -m this time, dev B and dev C. I had added both lines of code inside my git commit. So that is now available inside my local repository. So whatever the code is available inside my working directory, that is available inside my staging also, and that is available inside my local repository as well. Now what we have to do here is we have to check the git. If I want to know how many commits has been done inside my git local repository. Why? Because now there is another thing. What if you want to know the difference between the old commit and the current commit? So old commit, you don't know the ID, and head is keeping the address for the latest commit only. Now your head is on dev A and dev B and dev C commit already. So you don't have any reference to dev A commit that we have done in the beginning. How you can find that is by using git command git log -- online. As soon as you will enter, not online, it's one line. So as soon as you will enter, you will understand the commit, or you will get all the list of commits that you have done with the IDs. These two commits we have done earlier in the last tutorial, and these two commits we have done in today's tutorial. One of them is dev A and one of them is dev B and dev C. Now your head is available inside the latest commit, this one, and there is another commit that is dev A, or it's dev A commit. So let me open up my notes here and I will try to save up. Very sorry, let me open up my notes here and I will try to save up my IDs for the commits here, so I can use it to show you the differences between both commits. So let's go to our terminal again, let's clear, and I have to do git command. What will be the command? You guys can see here, git diff. Okay, so git diff, and now what we have to do here is we are doing comparison between two commits. For example, if I want to know the changes has been done from my old command to the new command, so what I have to do here is I have to copy the ID for the old command and I have to commit and I have to paste the ID for the new commit as well, and instead of new commit I can pass head as well, up to you, whatever you want to do. You guys can see the same result, that in the first commit we have dev A available already only, and in the second commit what we have done, we had added two new lines, that is dev B and dev C. Similarly, if I want to know the differences between the working directory and the commit that is done old, like one moment back or 2 days back or 1 week back, what I can do here is similarly I have to just add this command to get the ID of that commit. For example, that is this one. Let me copy that one, and I have to do git diff, and what I have to do here is I have to put the ID of that commit and then index.txt simply. So it will tell me the difference between the current status of the directory and the commit that I have done in the specific commit that ID I had mentioned inside the command. So this is how you can get the difference between the working directory and the specific commit available inside your local repository. Similarly, if you want to know the differences in any files that is available inside your staging with the specific commit of your local repository, you have to just write a command git diff and then -- staged and then the ID of your commit and then file name, which file you want to check. So same results are appearing, like we have just one line available there at that time, and currently in our staging we have available 3 lines of code, dev A, dev B and dev C. So this is how you can use actually between your local repository the actual use of diff command, or to identify the differences between the files or specific commits and all that stuff. Now, how to do or check the differences between the local and the remote repos? How you can do that? To see the differences between the local and remote, you have to compare the branches. How you can do the branches, how you can compare the branches, I'll just give you a hint in this tutorial, but we will do that in detail after we will learn the creation of branches, the retrieval of branches, the updation of branches and all that stuff. What we have, when we will learn that, at that time I will let you know in detail about git command usage in branches as well. But right now, for example, let's say you have one branch or source branch that is named as master branch, another branch that is named as destination branch. To see the differences between these two branches, what you have to do here is you have to write simple command git diff first branch, second branch and then the file name. Let's say in our case what we are learning few minutes back, it was index.txt. So you have to write a command git diff master is your first branch, staging is your destination branch and index.txt. This is how you can get the differences between the branches as well. I hope you guys understand it. In case of any question, any query, you can comment us in this video. You can reach us to our mailbox as well, and you can reach me anytime in my mailbox. I'll be definitely here for helping you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Goodbye.